I feel like a fool. We kept pouring that coal out, pouring that coal out, pouring that coal out, and gave them 5 million clean tons of coal before we went out on strike. But guess what? We're not worth, what we're making now. But straight up, y'all just got your bonuses at Warrior Met. The higher-ups just got them. Without us, there wouldn't have been no bonuses.
Over 1,000 coal miners at Warrior Met in Brookwood, Alabama, have been on strike since April 1st.
No contract, no coal! No contract, no coal!
After nearly 10 months on the line, miners and their families are feeling the financial strain during the Christmas season.
The auxiliary is doing everything they can to make sure that these kids, especially the little ones, don't know that, it's been a struggle this year.
The most requested thing, it wasn't toys, it wasn't video games, it wasn't cards, it was, we need jackets and clothes and shoes.
But thanks to donations from labor unions and supporters from across the country, this United Mine Workers Auxiliary chapter was able to make sure that the striking families could still celebrate the holidays together.
Each child, we feel like, that is part of the union, they should still be able to have a good Christmas thanks to donations.
We were actually able, a few weeks ago, to put out our Solidarity Santa boxes.
We had a Christmas registry for Target and Amazon where they could go in, and each family, what they did was they made a wish list for each of their children of things that they would like or that they needed.
And we were able to get every single item on that list for over 300 children. We're doing a big Christmas event for the striking families here at Warrior Met. We have a retiree that's actually going to be there as Union Santa, taking pictures with the families. We have a holiday meal we're doing.
Candy yam.
Yeah, candy yam.
And then we're going to have a toy walk for the kids, because we did have such abundance for their union support and worker support and just support from the labor family come in that we're actually going to be able to give every child that comes to that event 2 toys that they get to pick out. And that's a big deal. When you've been on strike 9 months and you've gone from your parents being able to, yeah, it's okay if you get that, to, no, we just don't have the money for that right now. That's been a big change for our families and for the kids.
Look what Brantley got, isn't that cool?
Oh my goodness, man, that's awesome.
We actually will be able to provide them with either a jacket or a pair of shoes for their child, and that's infant through high school.
Oh, that looks good, girl. What do you think? You like that one? Is that the one for you? All right.
We're seeing the nation's support come in. It's eye-opening to see, that much support come in at a time that you really need it the most, when it's getting difficult to, to hang in there.
Like, they know that those gifts came from people who don't know them, but that cared enough about them to send those things to Alabama, to send aid to the strike pantry.
Warrior Met miners are out on an unfair labor practices strike over the company's failure to negotiate a decent deal.
And they gonna give us a good contract. We ain't gonna take no bullshit.
That's right.
The miners accepted steep pay cuts to save the mine from bankruptcy several years ago. Now, Warrior Met is making hundreds of millions in revenue, but the workers haven't seen a dime.
They have made it known that they have the money to take care of these guys that are on strike, but they choose not to.
We're just ready to go back to work. The only thing holding us back is Warrior Met's, lack of good faith, negotiating. So,
Guess what? I lost them, and I got fired. Now, shortly they brought me back, but they fought me every step of the way. But you want to talk about regardless of who's not worth what? Come on.
Warrior Met coal has no soul. Warrior Met coal has no soul.
Sometimes it gets overwhelming, but at every point I can tell you that we've been provided for. Every time that we've gotten to a meeting and we've said, okay, we only have this much money left, we might only be able to make it another couple of weeks. Something happens and then a donation shows up and then we're good.
I think with the Christmas event and seeing all of the solidarity from all over the United States, just the outpouring of, of donations and support, and just I think that's helped, so much. It's helped raise, spirits, helped raise morale, just to know that we've got this and we're gonna, fight it as long as we have to.
Because that's what's really important about this event, is that we're teaching our kids that workers and unions and people need to stand together and support each other.
And we are the ones who are like giving the gifts to the kids, unlike the scraps are probably doing. They're probably not doing that.
So I'm really hoping with all of these strike actions going on and all of these kids seeing that in a few years, they'll be a force to be reckoned with because they grew up that way. They won't be afraid to stop and say they deserve more because they saw people fight for it.